Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Has it been fun so far? Enjoying yourselves? Okay. Well, the only thing, I hate to spoil your fun, but the only thing more important than fun is getting a good job. Because you need that money to have fun with. Work hard, play hard. Our next speaker, Mr. Vineet Nayar, CEO of HCL Technologies, is a man who knows how it's done. He has transformed the company, HCL, from a $400 million company in 2004 to 6 times more in 2012. He's a man who knows how to work hard. He's a man who knows how to play hard. He's going to tell you what it takes to succeed in the corporate world and what you must avoid for failure. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Vineet Nayar.
Good evening. Good evening. You know, if there was ever a day I wished I was Priyanka Chopra, today is the day. I swear. So my suggestion is, if you can close your eyes and imagine I'm Shah Rukh Khan, I think we will be able to deal with the next 15 minutes. A lot of people say I'm more handsome. Please. But it's so nice to be amongst the youth. In the remote corner of India, whenever a child is born, the family calls the elder of the family. And the elder comes and defines a vision for the child. The dadi, the amma, comes and defines a vision for the child and looks at the finger of the child and says, your fingers are so long that you'll be an artist. Your legs are so long that you'll be an athlete. Your eyes are so big that you'll be a dancer. Or you're so beautiful that you'll be an actress. Every single person in that family, when the dadi defines a vision, believes in that vision. Every single member of the family works hard to make the vision come true. And as the child grows up, every single person defines that dadi defined this for you, and that child works hard every single day to make that vision come true. So the question I have for you today is, what is the vision which was defined for you? Do you know that vision? Are people around you helping you, supporting you, enabling you, enthusing you, encouraging you like the family does for that child so that you can achieve that vision? Or is the society using you to achieve their vision? Or commenting on you and telling you what your action, behavior should be, and forgetting that the future is about defining a vision for you and for the society and guys like me to work hard, enabling, enthusing, encouraging so that you can achieve your vision? I think we have got it wrong. And I think conclaves like this will help reboot society's thinking about youth. It's not about how we can use youth to get our objectives, but how can we, like the grandmother, help the youth achieve the vision which the grandma defined for them? We have 85,000 employees in 32 countries, and some people I've seen succeed in their vision. And some people I have not seen succeed in their vision. And I've been thinking about what makes somebody successful and what makes somebody not successful. And I thought I would leave behind with you 5 things you guys should think about if you really want to be successful. first amongst them is know your point A. When you are a child, you're taught to draw a line. And when you're taught to draw a line, the first thing you're taught is to start from a point and draw a line to a second point. That is the point B. You ask anybody, what do you want to be? They will tell you, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a surgeon, I want to be an architect, I want to be an engineer, I want to be a politician, or I want to be Priyanka Chopra. But where are you today? What is your point A? Where do you begin? What is the honest assessment of where you are? And if you don't have that honest assessment of where you are, and you're only dreaming about point B, where you want to go, you will fail. You will be called a dreamer. The difference between a dreamer and an achiever is that achiever knows the point A. Achiever knows where is the start point to make a difference. The second fact which defines successful youth leaders is they see an opportunity in imperfection. They are in the business of making imperfect perfect. Imagine a diamond cutter. When a diamond cutter looks at a rough diamond, he gets excited about it. He doesn't crib about it. He doesn't say the road is bad, the ATM is bad, the government is bad, and everything is bad, the seats are bad, the bus is bad, the India is bad, and America is bad, and Bush is bad, and everything is bad. He sees an opportunity in that imperfection. When a potter looks at the clay, the dirty clay, he sees an opportunity of building something beautiful out of it. So leaders of tomorrow are the people who see opportunities in imperfection and get excited when they see an opportunity of imperfection around them. And there is so much imperfection around us, so many things to fix, and that is the opportunity for the youth of today. And people who do that well are achievers, succeed, and people who do not do that well continue only to be dreaming. The third is the architecture of change. You guys want to lead the future. You want to change the world. How do you change the world, and why is the world not changing? Because we have not learned the architecture of change. Organizations change, countries change, revolutions change. Why are we not learning how do they change? They change in 3 steps. Step 1 is to create huge amount of dissatisfaction with today. I'm unhappy. Gandhi spent a lot of time convincing our country that British Raj was bad for us. It took years for many, many freedom fighters to first convince the mass population that British Raj was wrong for us. That is true with Nelson Mandela, that's true with many others. But that is creating dissatisfaction, unhappiness. Are we unhappy today? The answer is yes. However, that is not going to bring about a change. The change will be brought by a vision of tomorrow which is so compelling that you want to get up from the bed and fight for that vision. Freedom! That is what Gandhi defined. That is what Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King defined. Where is that vision for the youth for future? Where is that vision which will make the youth jump up, work hard, give their life to try and achieve that vision? We don't have that. And the third step then comes to strategy of moving from here to there. Successful people, and some of the role models you saw out here, are people who got the architecture of change right, because individually you will not be able to achieve much. You have to create a team, and only people who have an architecture of change with the team would be able to achieve quite a lot in life. The fourth point is deep-rooted conviction. There are, in my vocabulary, 3 kinds of people. And you need to think about what kind of person you are. The first kind are transformers. They get up in the morning and want to climb Mount Everest every day. They are transformers. They want to change the world. They want a new challenge every day. The second kind of people are lost souls who are lost. They are in the business of taking energy away from you. You sit with them, they depress you. Because they are in the business of taking energy away from you and feeling good about it because they've taken energy away from you. But the last section of people are the best. They are fence-sitters. They are in the business of taking energy from the guy transformers and giving energy to the lost souls. And they are called fence-sitters. And they are the people who are used by everybody. So the question you need to ask is, are you a transformer or are you the fence-sitter who's being used by everybody? And the difference comes is, do you have deep-rooted self-conviction about something which is very strong? In a village there were two trees. One was next to the river. And everybody loved that tree because it was green, it had a fat trunk, and it was beautiful. And there was this another tree which was far away from the village in the desert, which was ugly looking, it had no leaves, it was thin, and people ignored it. One night there was a gush of air, a storm came in, and village woke up in the morning assuming their beautiful tree will survive because it was alive, and that old tree will die. But actually what happened was the reverse. Why? Because the tree next to the river had shallow roots. It had easy life. It got water very easily, and therefore the roots were shallow, and with one adversity it was blown away. The tree far away had deep roots, had sense of conviction. It stood for something and therefore could handle adversity. What about you? What is your conviction? What do you stand for? How would you deal with adversity? And unless you have that deep-rooted conviction about something, you would be blown away as fence-sitters by one wave to another wave to a third wave. And the last point I want to talk about is successful people are wired for adversity. A guy in a developed world, US, Europe, wakes up in the morning, wants to go and withdraw cash from an ATM, goes, presses the lift, goes down, gets into a car, goes to an ATM, withdraws cash, deal done. In India, a guy wakes up, wants to withdraw cash, goes, presses the button of the lift, no electricity. He walks down to his bike, there is a puncture. He walks to the ATM, 50% probability ATM is not working. Yet every single day, millions of Indians are able to withdraw cash from ATM and go on with life. Why? Because their brain is wired not to look at the adversity of what is not working. Their brain is wired to get the cash somehow. So when the adversity does come in as economic disasters, the developed nations do not know how to deal with it because they assume everything should be working, whereas an Indian mind is used to things not working, and this is one more thing which is not working, and is able to deal with it much better than a developed nation, and that's the reason the Indian managers are doing extremely well. So, do you realize that you are so lucky to be born in India, and so lucky that your brain is wired differently, and so lucky that so many things don't work, and thank God for that. So let's go back to our grandmother. Every grandmother has defined a vision, and she has defined a vision for you too. Every day when I look at the mirror and ask myself only one question, do I realize the value of the breath? And the only way I will realize the value of each breath I take if the wind is knocked out of my lungs every day. The question I have for my young friends today is, has the wind been knocked out of your lungs today? If it has not been, it is time to go to work. If it has been, you will be on this side of the stage next year. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
If I could just ask you the first question. A lot of the audience here is set to enter the job market maybe this year, next year, the year after. Should they go for a job or should they start their own business?
I think that's the wrong question. You are always in your own business. Incidentally, you may be doing a job. So the business you are in is to become every day better. The business you are in is chasing your own dream, and job is the way to get there. And business is also the way to get there. Whatever gets there, whatever makes you get there. Now, some people do believe that you should start with a job because it is the easier way out. Some people believe that you should go into a rough and tumble of job. As far as I'm concerned, I worked for 6 years before starting my own business. So as far as I'm concerned, whatever gets you to the vision you want to get to is the right answer for you, and there is no prescription of a right answer. Do whatever you think is right, you will never be wrong. as long as you have the passion and energy to pursue that through.
Now take some questions from the audience. The gentleman in front here. Is there another mic?
Hello. A very good evening to you, sir. Sir, I have a question regarding the thinking of youth today. Basically, you are, from a company, an IT company. So, the question is basically, it has become a thinking from over a period of time that, people from science background, they do BTech, and after that, instead of going into Masters of Technology or going into the Masters of Science, they go into MBA. MBA. And then they basically don't use the, the knowledge what they get into the BTech, or even if they get into a good, company, they are not basically able to use their talent well. Also, what happens is that, there are commercial students also who are studying BCom or business economics. So basically, even they don't get opportunity. Why? Because BTech students can get more easily into an MBA college because they can clear CAT more easily than commercial students. So basically, they can't use their talent as well. And not even commercial student can use their talent.
I think that's a valid question.
Also,
we have to give everyone a chance. So you yourself are an engineer who's now a manager. You would have to answer his question.
Yeah. I think one thing we must realize in life is that nothing in life is fair. And that's the opportunity. In an F1 race car driver said something very interesting, that it's only when all the elements go wrong, the real element of the race car driver come into being. So you're absolutely right that we as a country are engineer infested, MBA dominated, and we believe if you're an engineer MBA, you're God great to mankind. That's true. Now, either we can do something about changing it, which I don't think you and me can do anything about changing it, or let's live with it and find a way of a completely new way of working, of finding a new avenues, which is what is happening. The entire financial services community ignores engineers. And they want young MBAs from BCom background, from commerce background. The entire consulting industry is also trying to ignore engineers. So a lot of people are ignoring engineers. That's number one. But I think you make the second point a lot more important, which is how many engineers are going into masters and actually helping contribute to the economy by creating innovative products and solutions, and that is a problem. And that problem has to do with engineering, that has to do with education, that has got to do with attitude. But my friend, I only have to say some things. The country will take time to fix. Meanwhile, what do we do? That is what we need to think about.
Just 1 second. I need to take some more questions. Just the gentleman at the back there. Yes, you.
So in countries abroad like US, UK, they have opportunities for young students right after 16 years or 17 years. But here in India, barring few internships here and there are very limited opportunities. So the average age of working in other countries is say 16 or 17, whereas in India, it's very difficult to find a job even after 23. What opportunities as a corporate are you offering or HCL is offering for minimizing this gap?
I believe that none. And the reason for that is that we have, I think about 500,000 engineers coming out of our engineering schools every year, and not all of them get jobs. There is an oversupply of engineers in our system. And because of which there are more people educated, graduated, available, and the emphasis and focus of most of the corporates is to try and give them a job. And it is not towards people who do not have a job and who are coming through the system to try and give them internship and make them more eligible. However, what we have done as an experiment of the last 2 years is the fact that we are going back to schools and taking over the curriculum of the last 1 year and trying to change that, and we're doing that largely in Chennai right now, and I think with Delhi University also we've started, where we take over a parallel curriculum while you are in the final years of your BCom or commerce or whatever you're doing, not in engineering. And they're trying to change the curriculum so that we can deploy you as soon as you come out. So your last 1 year is actually like an internship with HCL. And the moment you come out, we easily deploy you because you come out completely ready for the industry. So that's the experiment we are doing. But those numbers are in hundreds. They are not in thousands. And I think if that experiment becomes successful, then we will expand it to thousands.
Right. The lady in front here and then at the back there. In front here.
Hi, sir. They say that the next 20 years are the golden age for entrepreneurship in India. But the cultural environment is not that conducive to entrepreneurship. Like, in a middle class family, entrepreneurship is not encouraged, rather looked down upon. So how can we make another America, Israel, or even Gujarat for that matter in the country?
It was interesting that Arvind Kejriwal was here earlier in the day, and there's a sentiment that Neta chor hai. And there's a similar sentiment that businessmen bhi chor hai in the middle classes. I mean, how do we get over that? I think that's part of the question she's asking.
Yeah, I think by 2025, it is very clear that 50% of the world GDP is going to come out of emerging markets. If 50% of the world GDP is going to come out of the emerging market, there are two choices which face us. One is to be used as consumers, like Africa, or to use the world because of our billion people. And that answer will arise in the hands of a lot of educationists, entrepreneurs like me, governments and everybody to try and see how much are we spending time on human capital to not be used but to use it. Because there is an opportunity for 50% of the world CEOs to be from India in 25 years time, because we have age on our side, we have an aging population in the developed world, and we have a young population in the emerging world. So there is a very high chance to do it if we focus on human capital development. Entrepreneurship, there is enough capital flowing in India for entrepreneurship. We do not have disciplined entrepreneurship. We do not have people who believe in value systems, who are honest, to have a good business plan, take the good business plan to get the money. There is enough funding available in the country for a good business plan. The question is there enough experience or visionaries or transformers which you can see and saying, I want to copy these guys and become an entrepreneur. That is true, that is not there. But that is the opportunity. The beauty of living in India, it is a land of opportunity. If everybody had got it right, if it was America, you don't have an opportunity. So thank God it is India, and thank God it is broken, and thank God there are so many opportunities, and thank God you are here, and thank God I'm here.
But I mean, just an add-on question. Can these young people go out there and start a business without paying a bribe? Do you think that's possible in India?
100% yes. 100% yes.
Right. There was a lady at the back there. Can you? Is there no mic at the back then? Can you pass it here?
Hello. So my name is Sarfraz. I am from Symbiosis. So my question is, will the Rajat Gupta case change the way NRI entrepreneurs are seen abroad?
Thank you for asking the question, a brilliant question. So Rajat Gupta case is an example, and I don't know whether it is true or not, but let's assume that what the media and what the courts are saying is true, that he did not exercise propriety in sharing information which he should have not shared. And the reason it is a good case for all of us to think about is that the only way we can participate in the global economy is by having very high standard of ethics. I think one of the reasons the IT company has done extremely well is because it has demonstrated high standards of ethics, which is not true with many other sectors which have continued to be what I call India-dominant sectors, which based on licensed Raj rather than globalize themselves. So as young citizens of India, instead of worrying about corruption around you, the question you need to ask is, what is your standard of ethics? And is that standard of ethics loose? Or is that standard of ethics high? And that lesson which Rajat Gupta is teaching us is good for us. So it's not about his impact on how people see India. That's not the way people see. And I don't care a damn about what people say about our country. I know my country and I know what we are good at. I don't care. I don't have anybody else to tell me about my country. But we should learn from it and we should raise the standards of ethics in our daily conduct. And it's not about corruption. It is ethics, what information we share, what information we consider ours and that of the company or that of the neighbors. And those kind of things are very important for us as a society to evolve. You must understand our billion people with 300 million young citizens is our biggest asset. And that asset can potentially take over the commerce of the world. It is only for us to lose. And one of the areas of investment will be ethics. And as long as you guys are careful about building yourself as young professionals with strong integrity, strong value systems, embedded like the tree I talked about, I think there is nobody who can stop us in achieving our dreams. Nobody.
Right, at the back there. We can't hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, that was working.
Hello. Hi, sir. It's great to have you here. I'm part of the Big Four, so I have had my taste of the corporate world. I would like to ask you, why is it such a mindset that a person working 9 to 5 is considered kamchor when in comparison to a person working 9 to 9? What is the exact definition of work culture in the corporate world?
I think what she's asking is that why are people who work 9 to 5 considered people who don't work enough, and in the corporate world you have to work 9 to 9 or 9 to 12? Is working hours everything?
So if you were chosen to play football or soccer in the World Cup, and your objective was to win, and you were trapped into the discussion on whether you're working 9 to 5 or 9 to 9, and even if you listen to such stupid arguments, you're distracting yourself. My belief is that lots of people will say lots of things. You don't have to believe it. You don't have to listen to it. In the end, you are respected for the output. Whether you work 9 to 9, you work 9 to 5, what is the kind of output you are producing? I truly believe there is so much noise in our country about irrelevant stuff. And there is so little focus about what we are actually doing to make progress as an individual. What did I do today? So whenever you want to ask this question on 9 to 5 and 9 to 9, ignore it, focus on your works, be more productive, and your output will show. And from those boring big fours, you hopefully will start a business of your own and add $1 billion and add to our economy and add more jobs and hire all of us in this hall. Hopefully that's what we want from you.
Yeah, the young man over here in front. Everyone will get a chance.
Talking about Indian IT companies, I don't see a whole lot of innovation there. So what's the reason for that? You talk about even the Koreans, I know Samsung's been, copying and stuff, but they are innovating. Why can't India innovate? Even China is innovating.
I think that's a very good question. So if you can create a $50 billion industry without innovation, maybe that's the right growth model. I think we should not get obsessed with the monkey mentality of trying to aping other growth models. If we don't have in us to be Facebook, Twitter, it's fine. We are different. But the Indian IT industry created a $50 billion industry in a decade and employs more than 3 million people in the last decade, and therefore they must be doing right. Why can't we do that in healthcare? Why can't we do that in financial services? It is not necessary that innovation is the answer for every ill in the society. Executing well may also be an alternate approach to growth. In the end, we are in the business of growing our economy, creating jobs for people, and making sure they are better today than they were yesterday. And innovation doesn't have to be a center stage. It's critical, but it is not the center stage. If Americans in the Bay Area are innovative, we are more process-centric and we can deliver, execute better.
Yes, on that side, we haven't taken any questions from this side. Gentleman in the black shirt.
Yeah, good evening, sir. I have a question for you. First is, like, when did you had a major setback? Can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah.
Go.
Now, my question is, when did you personally had a major setback in your life which gave you a, push? And secondly is, I guess, like looking at the environment, we have been very hardworking, like your grandmother's story. You said the child should work hard. Trust me, we are working hard and we are trying to make ends meet. And we had good intentions right from the beginning, like the society gave us. But somewhere down, what do you think if you have to point out one mistake in the system? What is that point? I have to
Fantastic question. There is no mistake in the system. The mistake is inside us. I was in the slums of Chembur eating bananas in the evening. That is the only thing which I could potentially do at that particular time. Each one of us are working hard. Is Dhoni not worked hard? Is Yuvraj not working hard? Every single person works hard. Working hard is table stake. Working hard to make ends meet is table stake. That's good. That's not enough. Working smart, right? Some of you, while you're working hard, have to, as I said about grandmother's visit, visualize a big dream for yourself. Work hard to get there. Why do small town boys and girls do much better than the big town boys and girls? Because they have the intensity, they have the desire, they don't stop at measuring hard work. What does it make a difference working 24 hours a day? Who the hell wants to sleep if your drive and vision is so powerful? Who wants to sleep? Who wants to eat? Jonathan Livingston Seagull, please read this book. Jonathan Livingston Seagull talked about, it's a seagull. He talks about, I am there to fly, not to eat. I don't eat to live, I live to fly. The question is, you have to ask the question, what is that intense passion you have which is going to make you forget all the hard work? Find that intense passion and I can promise you, you will find the success. People who are successful find that intensity, find that passion. It is not about just hard work. And I'm sure you will succeed and my best of luck for you.
Right. Just behind there, the lady behind.
Good evening, Mrs. Nayar. I'm Anubha Gupta from Basan Valley School. Now we're meant to go to college next year and here's the dilemma. How essential is formal education? Do we need a fancy degree to really do well in life?
I think it's a great question and my answer is as follows. You know, the way the world is working, it works with certain rules till a certain level. And after that, you define your own rules. So you have to choose the time when you start living your life by your own rules. I live my life with my own rules. I don't care a shit about what others think. What is the time you choose, you're going to make that happen for yourself. If you do it now at the school age, you better have a great idea so that you can show a thumbs up to the society. If you don't have the idea, live with the society norms and bid your time. I always tell people, pick the right time to fly away. But you should fly away. But pick the right time to fly away. And when you fly away, don't come back. So maybe after school is not the right time. Maybe after college is the right time. The college may be a wrong decision. You may not learn anything from it, but that's the rule of the society. Live it till you are ready to fly. And when you're ready to fly, fly and never come back.
Yeah, in the front, please, here.
Good evening. Hello. Yeah. First of all, thank you so much, sir, for showing us how to be optimistic in such a situation.
Thank you.
You are one of the finest examples of that. Thank you so much for showing us that.
Thank you.
And second,
but I'm still not Priyanka Chopra.
It does.
Yeah, it's working. Try it.
Question. Yeah, go. Yeah, go for it. Speak.
Hello.
Yeah, speak your question.
Sir, how do you manage to keep yourself so full of life despite when you know that people around you, even your well-wishers, would try to bring you down, or even they think it's the best for you? And over the years, have you made any changes to your attitude?
I think it's a great question. Have you ever seen Hussein Bolt look back at what others are doing? So if somebody is pulling you down, you're running too slow. Run faster. I think it is important to stop thinking about others, my friend. Think about yourself. If you think about others, others will use you. Think about yourself. See what change can I bring about. Be a leader, others will follow you. That's the business you should be in.
The lady in green there. Yeah. Yeah, ask.
Fantastic. That's the best.
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't need to use my teacher's voice, but thank you for being so inspiring. And you've spoken a lot about visions. So could you tell us what your vision was now and when you began as well? And what your parameters were for that success, for like the success of that vision?
So I'll tell you what my grandmother's vision for me was. And every day I get up and try and meet that vision. And her vision was, be a good boy. And I was not a good boy, and that's the reason they named me Vineet. To be polite, and I am not, you know that. So, I think having a deep-rooted conviction in what you do is what inspires me, what holds me to the ground. And every day I work hard, to be honest, every day I work hard to have that deep-rooted conviction and do the things in my way without getting bothered about anybody else. In my mind, vision is a visualization of what you think of yourself in future. I would encourage each one of you to look at the mirror every day and don't see Madhuri Dixit there, see yourself. And appreciate the beauty which you have within you and ask the question, so what are you going to do about it? We look at the beauty, we appreciate it, but we do not ask the question, so what are you going to do with this bundle full of talent God has given you? And the day we start asking that question, the vision will be defined automatically. Please do that.
Time for one last question. Yes, you can ask it.
Hi Vineet, this is Anubhav. I am from HCL only. And
thank you.
You're welcome.
God
And Vineet,
bless you.
I have been with HCL for the last 5 years.
I heard it's a very successful company.
It is. I've been with HCL for the last 5 years, and there is only one reason, and that reason is Vineet Nayar. The kind of connect that you have with the company, the kind of connect that we have as employees with you, that is exemplary. I don't find any reason why I will leave this company ever. But my question is that I know you joined as an SMT 25 years back, now you're the CEO. I also joined as an MT and it's been 5 years. I also want to become the CEO after 20 years. Can you tell me the top 3 steps that I need to do so that I can become the CEO in the next 20 years?
How to become a CEO, sir? Last question.
So if your vision is to be a CEO and God save you, right? It's not the most attractive thing. You get torn apart by analysts, media, friends write about you, and sometimes your picture looks good, but most of the time it doesn't. I would believe that the first thing to ask yourself is, what would you do when you become a CEO? If you have a vision of what you would do after you become a CEO, you have a high probability of becoming a CEO, because then that is the reason you would become a CEO. So people who aspire to become a CEO just for it will never become. The second question you need to ask is, so what is different about me? You have to be obsessed about differentiation. Every day in your life you have to think, what is different about me? Is my thinking different? Is my knowledge different? Is my experience different? Is my attitude different? What is different about me? Because different people succeed, same people don't succeed. That's the second question. The third question is, what is the price you are willing to pay to get there? So are you willing to travel out of your comfort zone? Are you willing to take assignments which nobody else will take? Are you willing to take risk with your career? Are you willing to take a pay cut, but an interesting opportunity which will give you new ideas? Are you willing to go out of your mama's house and eat your, girlfriend's food or wife's food or whatever it is? How much risk are you willing to put yourself at? And what is that passion and desire to be a CEO? I think if you get these three things right, God bless you, you will be the HCL Technology CEO. I'm sure for that.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. One thing we can say for sure is that you may not be Priyanka Chopra, but you're a real star. Please give a real big hand. Rockstar CEO, Vineet Nayar.
Could I please request CEO of the India Today Group, Mr. Ashish Bagga, to be on stage to give Mr. Nayar a token of appreciation.
A big hand, ladies and gentlemen, for Mr. Nayar.
Long time. Very long time. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.